6 o'clock news starts right now.
A trip to the lake this summer may open your eyes to the reality and severity of the drought across Texas. This doesn't look ideal, and this is from April. One of the emptiest lakes, Medina Lake. That's what we're talking about here. It's only 15% full. An alarming number for those whose livelihood depends on the water reservoir.
And those who live and work there fear it could soon be as bad as it was back in 2013 when the lake was only 3.7% full. Alicia Barrera took a trip to the lake to talk to locals about what they're calling a dire situation.
Mike Canderall usually hikes to get to his dock at Medina Lake, but today it's easier and probably safer to drive through the long stretch of dry rock.
We'd be underwater right now in the truck if the water was full.
Instead, boat docks now sit on limestone. Canderall is the owner of Wally's Water Sports.
The traffic going by my shop on the road front, it's down 80%. I've been here for 33 years, so I've seen it go up and down. This is only the second time I've seen it like this, though.
Touring and business has slowed down throughout the town of Medina, trickling down to the reservoir intended for farming irrigation, yet used by many for recreation.
I came out fishing with my friend Steven.
And while they caught a few fish today,
in different places, you lose a lot of tackle because of the low water.
It's normal for levels in the reservoir to fluctuate.
We got some trees starting to show, and this is way up at this end of the lake.
However, Canderall and others are calling for preventative action by the managing agency named Bear Medina Atascosa County's Water Control and Improvement District Number 1.
The only thing I can see that's ever going to help this lake is that there's a conservation level put on to where it's like, all right, irrigation is done. Maybe they could drill a well instead of using this old dilapidated irrigation system.
And it's hope what people are holding on to make it through the drought. But really the quickest solution would have to be a major rain event in the Hill Country area. However, there's no telling how soon that could happen. In Lake Medina, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
We have learned the names of two women who died in Castle Hills near North Star Mall early Sunday morning. They are 19-year-old Deanne Thomas and 18-year-old Kennedy Brazil. A third victim remains in critical condition tonight. The three women were sitting inside a car in the 1000 block of Northwest Loop 410, basically 410 in Blanco, when the vehicle was shot at multiple times. More than 50 shell casings found at the scene. Police don't know if the victims actually even knew the shooters. Investigators are working with nearby business owners to get surveillance video, also asking for the public's help with this case.
Whoever these suspects are have no regard for human life. So we're really urging the public, if you had children, give these victims some justice. If you know anything, you hear anything, please call us.
50 shell casings. Anyone with information on this shooting has to call Castle Hills Police at 210-342-2341. The final funerals happening this week for the victims in that massacre at Robb Elementary in Uvalde almost 3 weeks ago. At least one funeral so far every day since May 30th. This morning, funeral services were held for 10-year-old Tess Mata. According to her obituary, she loved to play softball and soccer. She's survived by her parents and a sister.
New at 6, a domestic violence victim is 450% more likely to die if there was a gun in the house. Now, leading experts across the nation, including right here in San Antonio, are working to find out more about the risks that guns pose to abuse victims. A survivor tells Courtney Freeman the guns in her home kept her silent for far too long, and it almost cost her life. It's part of Courtney's series, Loving in Fear.
During her 14-year common law marriage full of abuse, there was always a gun in the house.
It was used as a threat, and then towards the end, it was used as a weapon.
We're hiding this brave survivor's identity for her safety, but she wants to explain why that gun made it almost impossible to leave.
It's not just threats against you, it's threats against, your families.
Do you believe if you had stayed, you would become one of these statistics?
Yes. That's why I left the day that I left, because he said, I'll finish it. Next time I'll finish it.
The number of women who were killed at the hands of their own partners who are using a firearm, that has nearly doubled in Texas since 2011.
Makisha Hooper with the Texas Council on Family Violence is helping lead research on how guns in violent homes can lead to higher intimate partner murder rates.
and also make it possible to update the tools that we're using in our domestic violence response teams and collaborative commissions.
They're pulling law enforcement records in rural and urban cities across the nation.
Most homicide victims aren't engaging law enforcement. So one of the things that we do as part of the study is connect with a family member or a friend.
While the research continues for another year, this survivor wants people in dangerous relationships now to know it is possible to leave.
It was the best choice that I have ever made.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
If you are part of a law enforcement organization and want to take part in this research, reach out to TCFV. Also, if you or someone you know is in a violent relationship, there is help available. We have resources right now on our website, ksat.com/domestic violence.
San Antonio police with a lot of questions remaining after an early morning shooting. They found the victim at an East Side apartment near Interstate 10 and WW White Road. But as Katrina Weber reports, before he was taken to the hospital, he told officers that's not where the shooting happened.
Paramedics take care of a shooting victim wounded in his thigh. Although they wheeled him out to a waiting ambulance, he told police he came here on foot after being shot. Officers found him inside that apartment at the Casa Point Villas after 4:30 this morning. They also searched for clues in the area near Interstate 10 between WW White Road and East Houston, but they say they mostly came up empty-handed. Although the victim told police he was shot somewhere else and ran here for help, they say they didn't find any evidence supporting that, including a blood trail. What they did find were bullet holes in the front door. However, police could not say right away whether those were related to this incident. They plan to continue investigating to learn more about what happened and who shot him. They also had some confusion about the age of the victim. At the scene, police told us he was 25, but a later report listed him as a child, 15 years old. Who shot him so far remains a mystery. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. We're going to take you to the near downtown area. I-35 in Maine, you're looking at the upper levels there. You can see the traffic coming towards the camera, also towards I-10 there. A little bit slow going, as well as headed the opposite way during the 6 o'clock commute headed towards 281. But no real big traffic tie-ups to tell you about. However, road construction and repairs, they're happening all across the city. Traffic Authority Stephen Cavazos with where things could be slow going this week as well.
Several active construction spots are taking place in our viewing area, so of course we want to make sure that you plan your commute ahead of time. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here off I-10 over on the east side of Bexar County. Bridge work that's been taking place, but we're going to see that work begin again tonight. That should be wrapping up on Tuesday, June 14th. But keep in mind, 8:30 in the evening to 5:30 in the morning is when we can expect that work to take place. It's a full closure of the main lanes in both directions right there at FM 1518. So again, make sure you plan your commute ahead of time and look for those alternative routes. Loop 1604 over on the north central side of San Antonio, traffic signal work, and this will begin again Monday, June 13th, wrap on Friday, that's June 17th, and during that time it's going to be from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, and we can expect the eastbound to westbound turnaround closure right there at Loop 1604 and Northwest Military Highway. Let's take one last drive over here, Loop 410 over on the west side of San Antonio, concrete work taking place, and that's been current, but we should see that wrap up on Monday, June 20th. That will take place at 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, and drivers during that time expect alternating closures of the turnaround in both directions right there at Gulebra Road. Now grab your phones and open your camera app, scan that QR code by tapping the center of your screen. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page, and it has the latest closures that are taking place in your area, and of course anything else that could impact that drive time.
All right, let's take a look at live cam right now. 98 degrees.
And dusty.
And dusty, exactly. And we've already hit triple digits today.
Right. You can see, looks like a mirage of San Antonio because of the heat and the haze, and it's windy out there right now, too. One thing I want to note is that the aquifer is down 0.7 of a foot over the past 24 hours. The Edwards Aquifer Authority has issued stage 3 water restrictions for Edwards Aquifer permit holders. But that does not include SAWS customers. SAWS customers will remain in stage 2 water restrictions. Important note there. Take a look at the pollen count today. We've only got molds out there. They're low. One thing to keep in mind, though, that Saharan dust is on the horizon. You can actually see it there as we're looking at this live cam. It's 99 degrees and winds are sustained at 20 miles per hour. It's going to be a windy night, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Once the sun sets at 8:35, we'll see temperatures fall into the 80s. Coming up, I'll have a neighborhood view of how hot it's going to be, and we'll talk about the tropics.
All right, thank you, Sarah. A topic that Sarah knows quite a bit about. It's crucial to our environment, our water supply, the Edwards Aquifer. With the drought we're currently in, it certainly could use more water. But the water supply for you to drink and to use, that's not the reason we're under water restrictions.
A lot of people are very surprised that the limits that we have on watering are actually for these tiny little critters.
Those critters, they dictate a lot about how the aquifer is regulated. There's even a backup population of the Texas blind salamander just in case the worst should happen to them. Coming up in today's KSAT Explains, we take you inside an aquifer cave and go in depth, quite literally, on how the aquifer was formed and how it functions today. KSAT Explains coming up at 6:30.
KSAT 12 celebrates Military City, USA, powered by USAA.
San Antonio is known as Military City, USA, and here at Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland is where airmen earn their wings. Inside the base at the Career Enlisted Aviator Center of Excellence, aircrew will learn the fundamentals of transporting goods to our troops. Here's a look at training for the Loadmasters.
People on the ground can't get their supplies without Air Mobility Command, so we're part of that. We're a big function in that. So we get the troops whatever they need, whether that's food, whether that's weapons.
Loading and transporting some of the biggest assets in the military requires teamwork and extensive training before planning an Air Force flight.
It can be up to 6 pallets on a C-130. Here with 1 pallet, we got to take care of, exposing these students to knowing the nomenclature and the procedures to onloading it and offloading it, but doing it in an efficient manner and also in a safely manner. Come the real world scenario and they're out there in the world performing the duties as primary loadmasters, they'll definitely see more than 1 pallet for sure.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez. Tonight, we're going to talk about a potentially dangerous mistake. What one mom says happened before her second grader with special needs was left alone in the heat and where another parent eventually found him. Also, police stop a would-be riot at a pride parade. The group allegedly involved has ties to Texas. We'll tell you what's being done to prevent a similar incident right here in San Antonio. We'll have these stories and a lot more for you tonight on the Nightbeat.
Thanks, Stefania. Let's take a look outside with Sky 12, 98 degrees right now. Triple digits or not, it is just sweltering.
Yeah, but look at just south of the Alamo Dome. They got some nice shade right now.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's where we are right now is like, let's hope for more clouds.
Spot.
Yeah. Clouds, shade, they're good.
And if you can find the shade, we got a breeze, so at least there's that. Yeah, we gotta find a positive spin.
It's hard. It's really, if you're a heat lover, you love this weather.
This is for you.
Yes, here you go. Okay, no, we have seen 13 100-degree days so far this year. And as you take a look outside right now, you can see the haze on the horizon from the Saharan dust, which has returned. Saharan dust is with us every year. And although it's 98 degrees right now, we reached a record today. We tied a record set back in 1911. 111-year-old record we tied today. 101 is what it got to for the day today. But I want to talk for a second about that Saharan dust. Yes, we're used to it every year. And for most folks, just creates a bit of a haze on the horizon. But for some, it can create some allergy-like symptoms. So I want to show you the plume of Saharan dust, which is going to come and go throughout the summer. We'll see it lighten up a bit late Tuesday and early Wednesday. But by Wednesday afternoon, it becomes more dense. And again, you'll notice that haze on the horizon, perhaps even some allergy-like symptoms. By Friday, it starts to thin out, and over the weekend, we really won't see much of that dust plume around San Antonio. But again, it will come and go throughout the summer months for us as we head into what should be the hottest part of the season, but we've already seen, as I mentioned, 13 triple-digit days. Our average high this time of year is 92. That's where we should be at. Today, we were about 10 degrees warmer than that. It got up to 105 in Del Rio, 105 in Cotulla, and 103 in Laredo. Yesterday, as I mentioned, we were at 105. So we shaved off a few degrees there, but really, what's a big difference between 101 and 105? It just feels hot all around. And it's all because of this heat high. Now, this heat high has moved off to the east, and that's one of the reasons why we're not at 105 today, but it's still going to be the big dominating weather factor over the coming days for us. Notice that around this high pressure system, really all of the rain is going up and over it. We're just not going to see any rain really over the next 7 days to 10 days. That's substantial. As that heat high stays off to our east, but still remains in control, we'll be at 100 degrees tomorrow. Wow, 1 degree cooler. Big deal there. 99 on Wednesday. One thing to keep in mind on Wednesday with that heat high off to the east, we could have a couple of coastal showers, but the chance for rain in San Antonio is only 10%. And even if we get that 10%, it's not going to amount to much. As that heat high moves back overhead, we'll be back to 100 on Thursday, 100 on Friday, and you guessed it, 100 on Saturday too. By this time of year, our only hope for rain often comes in the tropics. And although there is an area of disorganized storms that could become a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next 5 days, it's likely only going to impact Mexico. So once again, our hope for rain is very, very low. Just a 10% chance Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for those coastal showers. Hey, it's something. All right, your KSAT 12-hour forecast tomorrow morning. You'll wake up and there will be a few clouds out tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, temperatures are still going to be in the 70s. You know, it's going to be humid, but that's the time to get outside and do any exercises, walk the dog earlier in the morning. You can, the better. Temperatures will quickly warm into the 80s. We'll start to see skies gradually clear by 10 o'clock. And then by noon, 91 degrees at noon. Winds are going to be windy tomorrow from the south at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 35 miles per hour though tomorrow. And then we're going to top off right near 100, 4 to 6 p.m., the peak heat of the day when you're going to be cranking up that AC in that car. Now, tomorrow, as I mentioned, at least there is going to be a breeze. Now, it could be a nuisance, but it's really going to help you out if you find some shade. Wind gusts of up to 25 to 35 miles per hour are possible not only tomorrow, but for most of this week. Elsewhere, the high temperature tomorrow should be 101 in Del Rio, 102 in Eagle Pass, 104 in Cotulla, 98 in Gonzales, 98 in Canyon Lake, and a closer metro view in the neighborhoods here, 101 in Castroville, 100 in Stinson, 100 in Seguin, 100 in New Braunfels. Wow, 96 degrees in Bernie. Cold in Bernie tomorrow. Looking ahead, we're going to be seeing that Saharan dust with us again through Friday, that haze on the horizon, but every single day here at the century mark. Coming up in the next half hour, guys, I'm going to talk about how the 13 days of triple digits compares to the previous years when we've had a lot of triple digit days as well.
13 days already, so early. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, there are a few teams that are steeped in the history of the College World Series. I would argue Stanford,
absolutely,
LSU,
surely,
and the Texas Longhorns.
The Longhorns, without question, with Augie Garrido and his dominance when he was the manager there, or their head coach. When we come back here, they're headed to the College World Series again, but this time only after a game that was supposed to start at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon and didn't get finished until after midnight our time last night. We'll show you how it happened. We'll get you ready for Game 5 tonight of the NBA Finals when we come back. Texas Longhorns headed to the College World Series after 2 rain delays in a game that wasn't decided until early this morning. The first rain delay pushed the start time from 3 to 4 p.m. in Greenville, South Carolina. The Longhorns took on East Carolina in the Greenville Super Regional. But the second rain delay was a doozy, pushing the game all the way back to after 9 p.m. And after the weather let up, the Longhorns bats did not. Raining runs. Ivan Melendez got the ball rolling, so to speak, with a 3-run blast to open up the barrage as a part of a 4-0 lead when Lightning struck, literally forcing the second delay. But the Longhorns didn't let up when play resumed. Trey Fautine and Silas Ardoin both had home runs as East Carolina goes through 9 pitchers in the Horns' 11-1 rout, advancing to the College World Series for the 38th time in school history. Turns Turns out the Fighting Texas Aggies are in the same bracket as the Texas Longhorns, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame in the College World Series. That's after they were able to sweep Louisville 2-0 to advance to the College World Series. Coming from behind, being down 2 runs for the second straight game to eliminate the Cardinals. It was a sacrifice fly by Dylan Rock that drove in Trevor Werner with what turned out to be the game-winning run in the 4-3 victory. Now headed to their 7th College World Series appearance, looking for their first ever championship.
So excited for our players to be where we were, 3 or 4 months ago, to sitting here, getting ready to hop on a plane and go to Omaha. I'm super proud of them. Everything I could have ever thought, dreamed of, when making the move. Said it's very public how much I love TCU, but this was an awesome life change for me, both personally and professionally, and I can't thank our players enough for making the baseball side of things come true.
His first year at A&M. This is the Aggies' first trip to the College World Series since 2017. The NBA Finals resume tonight here on KSAT 12. The best-of-7 series tied at 2 wins apiece, turning the championship series into a best-of-3, with the Warriors having the home court advantage. After stealing Game 4, 107-97 in Boston, the Celtics must return the favor tonight and chase center in San Francisco in order to keep from being down 3-2. Celtics have proven they can win on the road in this series when they stunned Golden State with a 120-108 victory in Game 1. They will need that same performance tonight, if not more, from this young team. That also includes former Spur Derek White, since they are 4-point underdogs. That said, do the Celtics need more from Jason Tatum, who's shooting only 27.5% inside the arc?
He has to be the playmaker. And so in the 2 wins, he's had 13 and 9 assists, and he's getting 11 in those, and I think he's down around 5 in the losses. And so don't really equate the numbers of how he's shooting, more so the result of him making the play, making the right read. And so at times it can get frustrating.
Golden State Warriors are looking for a 4th ring under head coach Steve Kerr, but in order to grab that prize, they're going to need more from Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Jordan Poole. What does Steve Kerr look for early in the game to check the team's intensity?
Boxing out is one of them. Ball pressure, defensively, rotations. You can just tell, are you a step early or a step late? And I think that's pretty much a common theme throughout the playoffs in every matchup.
All right, tip-off time tonight is at 8 o'clock. You see it live right here on KSAT 12, including all the pregame festivities. And remember how important Game 5 is to the Spurs back in 2005 when Robert Horry hit that key three-pointer, and they went on to win that series in 7 games. And remember, that format then was 2-3-2. This now is back to 2-2-1-1-1.
Okay.
You get my drift.
I got it.
All right, there you go.
Pivotal game is what you're saying.
You got it. 80% of the time, you win Game 5, you win the series.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say 80% of the time you win all the time.
80%.
It works
every time.
All the
Works
time.
every time.
All right, thanks, Greg. Still to come, the Edwards Aquifer. We take you deep inside a cave and into an explanation of how the aquifer works. KSAT Explains is up next.
You hear our weather team talk about it every day. The aquifer, the water levels. You know it's important.
But how much do you know about how the aquifer functions, who regulates it, and why? That's the focus for today's KSAT Explains. And for this one, we tapped 2 members of our team who know the aquifer well, meteorologists Justin Horn and Sarah Spivey. Here they are for KSAT Explains.
The Edwards Aquifer stretches from Edwards and Kinney counties as far east as Travis County. It's comprised of 3 zones: the contributing zone, which can be found in the hill country, the recharge zone, and the artesian zone. Let's take another view, showing you a cross-section of the aquifer. When rain falls on the contributing zone, it flows down into the recharge zone. Think of all the porous limestone in Government Canyon, for example. When the rain falls directly on the recharge zone, it goes straight into the aquifer. Then pressure from all that water builds up in the artesian zone, which is where we access that water through wells. Now that's how the aquifer works today, but how it was formed goes back millions of years to a time when Texas was underwater and San Antonio was a beach.
You can see evidence of this in the form of dinosaur tracks at Government Canyon, believed to have been formed either on a muddy beach or on a sandy beach.
In those shallow seas, there were mollusks, clams, and other shellfish. When they died, their shells formed what is called karst, and that's what the aquifer is made of.
Karst is a porous limestone. Again, these are the fossilized remains of all of those mollusks and shelly creatures. And the porous nature of this is what houses the water.
That's what you can see of the aquifer above ground, but it goes a lot deeper.
Down in this cave in Comal County, it's like a history book of the aquifer.
So at one time, the cave was filled with water, and then as the water levels have dropped over geologic time, it's left these relics of conduits that move water through the system and that. And so these caves allow us to look at the fabric of the limestone to understand better how groundwater moves through the system, how it goes from recharge to discharge.
This cave was probably formed millions of years ago, which brings us back to that word again, karst.
Karst is a landscape that's characterized by sinkholes and sinking streams and caves and springs. It's also what we call a subsurface system that allows us to transport or move water through it very quickly, very rapidly.
This wall is a good example of what the aquifer would look like. You see it's kind of sponge-like. It has pockets here, and the water is in these pockets and then moves through the system, eventually discharged at the springs.
There are some of the caves in Bexar County and Medina, Uvalde, and Hayes County where we've been able to go through the cave down deep enough that we've actually seen the Edwards Aquifer itself.
Like many caves in the Texas Hill Country, this has a lot of tight spaces that we've been crawling through, but it opens up into bigger rooms like this one.
Past that, we come face to face with this guy, a tricolor bat. But it's species that live in the aquifer itself that led this natural wonder to be regulated by modern-day government.
The beginning really stems from a lot of conflict and controversy over what to do about this resource.
In the 80s, San Antonio was a rapidly growing city, and there was a concern. Was there enough water for everyone?
Then, much like now, there really weren't that many laws dictating how you could limit groundwater withdrawals. And so the Sierra Club in the 90s brought an endangered species suit, which was sort of the only way to go about something like that.
Perhaps the most well-known of those endangered species, the Texas blind salamander. Today, it is the poster child for aquifer conservation efforts, but it took several big steps to protect these tiny creatures, the first of which was a court ruling.
The judge said, look, Texas, you either need to manage this or the federal government and me are going to come in and do it. And so the legislature has never moved so fast, I don't think, in the history of Texas, because we got the Edwards Aquifer Authority.
And we have a three-pronged mission. 3 words: manage, enhance, and protect the Edwards Aquifer system.
The EAA is funded by permit fees. Those are fees paid by groups that pump water from the aquifer, SAWS being the group that pumps the most.
You hear us report the aquifer level every day, and from time to time, SAWS does implement water restrictions, but that's not to keep the aquifer from running dry.
Yeah, that actually won't happen in our lifetime. The reason that we have those in place is to keep the springs flowing in order to protect endangered species.
Like the Texas blind salamander. It's one of 11 threatened, endangered, or petitioned to be endangered species that live in the springs of the aquifer.
So we have, 3 salamanders on there, we have fish species, we have Texas wild rice as a plant, and then we have a number of macroinvertebrates.
These biologists have the tedious but important task of leaving no stone unturned, literally to count Comal salamanders in New Braunfels. The flags show where they've spotted them.
A lot of people are very surprised that the limits that we have on watering are actually for these tiny little critters.
In 2013, the culmination was an agreement among the 5 permittees, the City of San Marcos, the City of San Antonio through SAWS, the City of New Braunfels, Texas State University, and the Edwards Aquifer Authority. Those 5 entities agreed to start the habitat conservation plan.
That plan is why these counts happen.
This is like a bigger one here.
If these creatures are healthy and thriving, it's a sign that the aquifer is too. The Texas blind salamander is considered so important, there's even a backup population just in case.
And the idea here is that if something catastrophic were to happen to the aquifer itself or the rivers that are fed, like the San Marcos River, we would have a population on station.
At the San Marcos Aquatic Resources Center, scientists feed and breed the Texas blind salamander and try to learn more about them. It's hard to know how big the population really is because they live deep underground in a pitch black aquifer that spans miles. But researchers do know this. dangerous.
They have very permeable skin. Like if there's some contaminant in the water, it's going to permeate them too, right? Unlike us who have like very tough skin, who are very resistant to environmental changes, they're super sensitive to environmental changes.
In the end, the researchers and scientists who work with the aquifer believe conservation efforts to protect these species benefits all of us. And as San Antonio and surrounding cities keep growing, that work becomes even more crucial.
I think that the biggest challenge moving forward is making sure, as I've said, that the aquifer remains sustainable in the face of a number of different potential risks or threats. Climate change being one, but beyond that, what is happening in the region as a result of the development? As growth continues, for example, into the hill country, which is the catchment area for the Edwards, that's where all the water comes from that gets into the Edwards. What does that mean for us in terms of recharge to the Edwards? Is there a threat that the quality of water that gets into the aquifer is going to be compromised at some point?
We're not done yet.
After the break, we'll explain how the aquifer levels are measured and where those numbers come from.
KSAT Explains continues after the break.
KSAT Explains continues here on the news at 6, and we've talked a lot about the aquifer so far, how it works, what it looks like deep underground, and why those tiny creatures led to it being regulated.
Yeah, but now it's time to explain the aquifer information you hear about every day right here on KSAT, the water levels. Here again, meteorologist Justin Horn.
On KSAT, we always show you this graphic of the aquifer. It shows the level, but what does that number mean and where is it measured? It's actually measured in this building here behind me. This is the J17 well. It's located at JBSA Fort Sam Houston, and they invited us inside today. So let's go take a look.
Right there. J17 is literally just a small hole in the floor surrounded by a box, drilled in 1914 to supply water to Fort Sam Houston. And it's safe to say not much has changed.
And this is pretty much the same method that they've been using to measure water wells for about 100 years.
But this well is one of the most important in Texas. Continuous observation started at the well in 1932 by the U.S. Geologic Survey. The amount of historic data is what makes J17 so valuable to aquifer scientists, along with its location over the aquifer, of course. Nowadays, we get an electronic aquifer measurement every 15 minutes.
So you can kind of see down hole there. So this well actually goes down to 874 feet. It's cased to about 600 feet cased, and then it's just kind of open hole rock from there on. And so the instrumentation is the three instruments, the pressure transducers that are down there are underwater. They have to be underwater to get the pressure. And then that information, like I said, is transmitted up through these cables over here to our data logger.
From there, some conversions take place, so that number can be easily compared.
It measures in pressure, and then we do a conversion that then converts that pressure to what we call the feet above the instrument, feet of water that sits above the instrument. So once we've got that, we know where the instrument is set at, then that's when we get the depth of water. So what we measure is from the top of the land surface to the top of the water.
And then comes a lot of math. But in the end, that's where we get this number you see every day. And it's that one little number that sets water policy for millions and determines things like when you can water your yard.
It is vital.
Making this well and this small white building a crucial piece of the system and a literal direct conduit to the aquifer. For KSAT Explains, I'm Justin Horn.
All right, Sarah and Justin taught us a lot about the aquifer.
Yes.
Which I imagine could use a drink or two.
It absolutely could, Myra. In fact, the EAA has issued Stage 3 water restrictions for Edwards Aquifer permit holders. But thankfully, if you're a SAWS customer, we stay in Stage 2 water restrictions. The high today was 101 degrees. We tied a record set back in 1911. And in fact, it was 105 in Del Rio, 102 in Uvalde, 102 in Hondo, and 105 in Cotulla. A lot of people have been asking me, Sarah, it's hot outside. What does this mean for July, August? Well, I'll tell you how this triple-digit streak compares to years past coming up.
Not only is it incredibly hot, but just no rain really in sight for us, Sarah.
Yeah, and then you add some dust in the mix and, yeah.
It's hot and hazy. I mean, we're usually hot and hazy in the summertime, but these are August temperatures that we're dealing with in early June and that we have been dealing with for a while. Even outside right now, it is still in the triple digits in some places. Let's take a look out there with satellite imagery. We're at 99 in San Antonio, but as I just mentioned, we did reach 101 earlier today. Still 104 in Del Rio, 101 in Hondo, 102 in Cotulla, and 95 in Pleasanton. You could see that clouds have started to move in a little bit. Just those high, thin cirrus clouds are out there as we get a neighborhood view around San Antonio. It's 101 in Hondo, 97 in Bandera, 91 in Bernie, 98 in New Braunfels, and still 100 down at Stinson. So I mentioned before the break that this is our 13th day where we've seen triple-digit days so far this year. Now, in the grand scheme of things, 2009 takes the cake. We had 59 days of triple-digit weather, and then 2011 is right behind it at 57. But here's the thing. In 2009, we only had 2 100-degree days at this point. We've already seen 13. We only had 3 back in 2011 at this point. So unless we get a big weather pattern change, like a tropical system or something like that, 2022, we could easily become the year with the most triple-digit days on record. I mentioned the tropics. That's usually where we see any relief this time of year. There is a area of disorganized thunderstorms in the Caribbean Sea. It has a 40% chance of developing into a tropical depression or greater. But it's likely going to be a system that really impacts Mexico if it even makes it into the Gulf of Mexico itself. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means more of the same. We're going to be looking at triple-digit days for the remainder of this week, at least close to 100 degrees. Wednesday will take a brief dip in temperatures, and by brief, I mean just one day and only by a degree. And we're running some 10 degrees above average this time of year. On top of that, we're hazy, as I mentioned. Air quality is unhealthy for those who are sensitive to it. You know, if you're sensitive to the Saharan dust, you can see that haze on the horizon there. And over the summer, the Saharan dust is just going to come and go. So I wanted to take a look here at the dust itself, and when we can see it thicken up a bit. It's going to lighten up a bit tomorrow, but by Wednesday afternoon, we'll see a more dense haze on the horizon from that Saharan dust. It'll still be around Friday, but by Saturday and Sunday, we'll start to see that really thin out. And again, it'll be back, though, at some point over the next several months, so we'll keep an eye on things and let you know. For now, though, here's what you can expect for your day tomorrow. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast tomorrow. We'll have clouds early in the morning, 78 degrees. That's the time to get outside as soon as you see sunrise, because we'll quickly warm up some clouds through about lunch, and then we'll see mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. One thing you'll notice is that those winds are going to be pretty strong tomorrow, sustained at 15 to 20, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. So there will be some relief in the shade, but it's still just going to be hot, close to 100 degrees in the afternoon hours, all because of this heat high. Now, it has moved off to the east. That's why we're not at 105 today like we were yesterday, but it's still going to be the dominant weather pattern, the dominant factor over the next few days. So although we could have a coastal shower or two Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, no important rain on the horizon for us, just that Saharan dust on the horizon, and triple-digit days through Father's Day and likely beyond too, Steve and Myra.
Look at that forecast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sizzling. In case you missed it, coming up next.
Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
It is Monday, June 13th.
Happy Monday.
Paramedics take care of a shooting victim wounded in his thigh. Officers found him inside that apartment at the Casa Point Villas after 4:30 this morning. They also searched for clues in the area near Interstate 10 between W.W. White Road and East Houston, but they say they mostly came up empty-handed.
Shot and killed early Sunday morning. We've learned the names of 2 women who died in Castle Hills near North Star Mall.
They are 19-year-old Deanne Thomas and 18-year-old Kennedy Brazil. A third victim remains in critical condition at this hour.
This morning, funeral service is held for Tess Mata. According to her obituary, she loved to play softball and soccer. The 10-year-old survived by her parents and her sister.
The U.S. is one step closer to potentially historic gun reform. A bipartisan group of 20 senators backing a deal on principle, a significant breakthrough as lawmakers face pressure to act.
The House Select Committee using taped testimony from 10 of former President Donald Trump's closest advisors, presenting evidence Trump knew he'd lost the election, but continues claiming even to this day it was stolen from him. In this pre-recorded interview, former Attorney General Bill Barr detailing the multiple meetings where he told Trump his claims of election fraud were bogus.
More than 3,000 quilt panels were displayed in San Francisco this weekend, marking the 35th anniversary of the National AIDS Memorial Quilts. Quite a dramatic scene. The quilt panels laid out at Golden Gate State Park on Saturday, each one representing a lost life, and now considered to be the world's largest community arts project ever.
Well, it's going to be windy and hot. Right now, wind gusts are about 35 miles per hour. But as we head into the evening hours, we're going to continue to see those gusts. It's going to be really hot. Temperatures will be near 100 degrees every single day. A small chance for a stray shower Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But that's about all we can offer in the rain department. Otherwise, buckle down for a very hot summer, potentially the one with the most 100-degree days. We'll have to see.
Buckle down, buckle up, stay cool, however you can.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll